Well, good morning, Unity of Fort Myers. What a joy and an honor it is to be with you today. I've been in contact with your leadership council and so many beloveds in your community, and it is my great honor to be with you through the miracles of technology, for we know that God is in, around, and through it all. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to be with us. Thank you to all of the volunteers, all of the staff people, our chaplains, everybody who has participated to make this service magnificent in order to support you. So please relax, sit back, enjoy as we come together as one community.
Tell no lies, I won't even try to contain it. What I feel, it is real, it is bigger than me. No, I can't ignore that my life is more satisfying. From inside, can I hide the light that is burning? Just a tiny ember spark this change in my life. Life can carry me gently forward to the next perfect step. No rush or no hurry. I am happy here where the sky is clear. Just be now in the flow, letting go. I'm milking this moment. It's the perfect time for my star to rise again. I just stop asking how, give myself to the now and let love be. I am feeling good, I am feeling fresh, I am feeling new. This is the best. I am staying true, not settling for less. I am breaking through. This is the best day. We were born to keep on dreaming, wanting, growing, launching, rising. I am feeling good, I am feeling fresh, I am feeling new. This is the best. I am staying true, not settling for less. I am breaking through. This is the best day yet.
That music was so spectacular this morning. Good morning, Unity of Fort Myers. I am Jerry, and I am platform assisting today with Reverend David. We are so happy that you are all here, and we really hope everyone is having a super Soul Sunday today. Now, as you know, we have many things that are going on at Unity of Fort Myers, and we really hope that you are connecting with us as we are connecting with you. And there are many ways to connect with us. There are 3 methods that we use, and I'm sure most of you are aware by now that we send out our weekly emails, which is my favorite, We also have our website, and we also have our Facebook page. So please stay in touch with us. We really miss seeing every single one of you right now, and we're so happy to be part of this family together. And we have our prayer connection time on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the good news is Reverend Carla Palmer will be leading those prayer connection times because Ellen Barron has moved on to be senior minister at the Unity of Raleigh. So please take a moment to congratulate Ellen if you get the chance. Reverend Carla continues to be available to us on Thursdays, so please reach out to Reverend Carla and make an appointment. She would love to see you. As you are aware, Unity was founded on prayer, and we are committed to prayer. And our prayer chaplains are here for you. Please send in your request by email, giving a call to the office, put your prayer request into the chat. And Silent Unity is also available, so please give Silent Unity a call. Please take advantage of these prayer tools. And now, Reverend David will open us with prayer.
Thank you, Jerry. Please join me as we go within. So I just allow myself to be fully present in this moment, right here and right now, releasing the busyness of the day, just knowing that all we have is this present moment right here and right now. And I know that that one power, that one presence that I choose to call God is always supporting me and always has my back. So I relax, I rest, I lean into that on this day and all days as we come together as this extraordinary, beautiful, perfect family of the divine. We bless the music, we bless our chaplains, we bless those in service. So wherever you are, however you are receiving this message, you are in the perfect place at the perfect time. For I know that the message is divinely inspired, that the timing is divinely inspired, and that your presence is divinely inspired. So we relax, we allow, we simply let it be, and we say together, and so it is. Amen.
This is our prayer. Light as in the opposite of heavy. I am light, I am light. Light as in the best word in the English language to describe the soul. I am light, I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dreams I left behind. I am light. 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 Quantum physics teaches us that we're really actually mostly space. We are light. am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul inside is all I am light. I am light. I am light. Light is in the heat and fire given off by the combustion of the crucible of life's hard times. I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Well, again, my thanks. It's such a great joy to be with you. A good friend of mine just moved to Florida, and he happens to be about all things Disney. So, of course, it's a wonderful fit for him. And I was sharing with him a little bit that I knew of the story of Walt Disney. And I know that many of you know a whole lot more about this than I. So thank you for your patience and thank you for your presence as I explore this just a little bit within our topic today of being in the zone. So the story has it as Walt Disney was literally on his deathbed. He was in the hospital. He was in his final days, making his transition from lung cancer. And he was staring up at the ceiling. And they had the tile ceiling that had lots of different sized dots on it. And he started connecting the dots on the ceiling. He started creating a grid pattern on the ceiling. And here he is getting ready to leave behind his biodegradable flesh suit. And his brother comes to visit him. So he and Roy are sitting Roy is sitting and Walt is lying in his hospital bed. And he starts to share with Roy his vision for Walt Disney World. And he starts talking about the different lands and Epcot, and didn't have the names at that moment, but he talked about everything as he's looking at the ceiling. And he made his transition not more than a few days later, leaving behind his vision, his imprint for what he wanted Walt Disney World to look like. And that, my friends, is a great encapsulation of what we're talking about today. That is being in the zone. So when we are in the zone, we tend to lose track of time. We tend to lose track of meals, although I rarely am in that much of a zone. We tend to lose track of whether we've been through the shower or not. It's just that we are so intense and so impassioned and connected with whatever work we're doing, nothing else really seems to matter. So that is being in the zone. And that term was first coined in about 1930. And it actually was created in connection with education. So how can we enable our young people, our giant souls with short legs, how can we connect with them better and easier and more effectively? How can we help them learn in ways that are instructive and helpful for them? So that was when the term was first coined, was in the 1930s. Now fast forward to the 1970s, and a gentleman by the name of Mikhail Csikszentmihalyi actually coined the term flow, or being in the flow. And actually, he did a TED Talk in 2004. It's had over 5 million views. And he just talks about his perspective of what that means. And he actually moved the conversation from that of education to that of the artistic community. So he connected with artists by a broad definition, and painters and dancers and vocalists and speakers. And he and his team of researchers spoke with hundreds of artists to try to quantify what it meant and what it looked like and what it felt like to be in the flow. And so I can tell you it was about that time that I went on my first whitewater rafting trip. And I had a really different feeling of being in the flow in that moment. We had on, our closed-toed shoes and long pants and our helmets, and the 3 minutes of instruction we got before we got in the whitewater raft was, if you fall out of the raft, and chances are good you will fall out of the raft, point your feet downstream and allow yourself to go with the flow. The inclination is, we as humans, I'm going to go head first and I'm going to swim and I'm going to control and I can do this. And P.S., that's why we were wearing helmets, because it's a river and there are really big boulders and stones and logs and any number of obstacles. So we literally had about 3 minutes to retrain all of our years of programming to say, when I fall out, rather than fighting it or trying to power through it, go with the flow and do it in a way where you're relaxed and you're just letting the rapids wash you along. So yes, I did have the experience of getting thrown from the boat. And no, I didn't immediately catch on. My first inclination was to go head first. And then I thought, I'm hard-headed, but I'm not that hard-headed. So I was able to regain my orientation, allow my feet to go first, and got out of the water and came out and had a magnificent day. And now, of course, as practitioners of New Thought, as metaphysicians, the term has morphed even a little bit more into mindfulness. And that seems to be the language that many people in Unity, in New Thought, tend to resonate with in these days and times. And it has been my great joy and honor to work with a couple of friends and colleagues who have just written a book, and I have edited and helped them put it together in finished form, on mindfulness for sales professionals. Now, what an interesting thought. Of course, mindfulness in any position is something that I would advocate for, and mindfulness for sales professional. Now, I'm a PR and marketing guy. My first 2 degrees happen to be in journalism and public relations, and my first master's degree is in communication. And that being said, I really don't like being sold to unless I'm in the place of asking for information. So what my friends Holly and Eric have done, she has years of experience in the mindfulness movement. He has years of experience in sales, ironically with Walt Disney World Resorts, and they have come together to write a book about mindfulness for sales professionals. So that's what I invite you into this day. What is the spiritual principle for your chosen profession? How can you bring mindfulness to your workplace? Whether you're going to a workplace or working from home, or whether you work on the road from your phone or your computer or your device, whatever that looks like, I invite you to consider, what does it look like for you to bring spirit to the workplace, to bring God into work? And for those who are not in that professional situation, either between opportunities or perhaps you have left work behind, and congratulations, all the power to you. The invitation is then more nuanced. The invitation is, what does it look like to bring spirit into the activities that are already bringing you joy? Because guess what? Spirit is already there. What you are doing is bringing the conscious awareness to that. So whether you call it being in the zone, whether you call it being in the flow, whether you call it mindfulness, we know that it is consciousness. We know that it is our co-creation of our experience, of this human experience, with the divine in everything that we're doing. So in my one of my previous corporate careers, I was up and at 'em and gung-ho and loved my office on the 50th floor of a skyscraper, just 2 floors away from the CEO. And by gosh, You know, I did whatever I could to stand by him in the elevator. But my point in sharing that is when I was working downtown, I also worked out at the Denver Athletic Club. And the guy who was the volunteer leader, the president of the Denver Athletic Club, had all kinds of records there. The sit-up record for hundreds of sit-ups and push-ups, and just a really physical, very kind, and really professional guy. I had great admiration for Peter. And later in his career, when he stepped away from his full-time profession and started embracing more of his passion and doing what he loved, the title of his book was Try Softer. And that too is the invitation for today, for to be in the flow, to be in the zone. What if we don't have to try as hard? What if we don't have to push to balance family and relationship and kids and grandkids and nieces and nephews and four-leggeds and community and unity of Fort Myers, of course? What if we don't have to try harder? Try it on this week. See what that looks like and feels like for you. What if part of the answer is trying softer? You know, my beloved and I love to walk, and we walk 3 or 4 miles every morning. And we just got a new rescue. He actually rescued us. His name is Terry the Cairn Terrier. Terry the Terrier looks just like Toto in The Wizard of Oz. I'm sure he's probably Toto's great-great-great-great-grandson. And Terry happens to be almost 9 years old. Before he came to us, he was neglected, and he had to have about 32 teeth pulled. And he is just the happiest little guy. So we go out every morning really early, and we do our 3 or 4 miles, and he comes with us, and he absolutely loves it. And we go over bridges, and we often see wildlife. This a couple of days ago, we saw this good-sized beaver just chowing on a log, just like his own little breakfast buffet. And he certainly got all of his fiber he needed. And we see deer, and we've seen heron, and we see rabbits all the time, and lots of other dogs. And so it's just a great grounding for us as individuals, and now for us as a small family. And the trail happens to be used by people who walk, and people who ride bicycles and scooters and rollerblades and horses and bicycles. And so it's a multi-use kind of trail. And so we need to be mindful, we need to be conscious on our walk that he's not pulling his leash over on the other side to cause any unintended consequences. And there's also signage on the concrete sidewalk along the way that reminds specifically our friends on bicycles that says slow zone. And I thought, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that perfect? I love these serendipitous moments. As I'm stepping into a conversation about being in the zone, I literally get this massive message that says slow zone. So as you're in that space, as you're consciously aware of when you are in that place of losing track of time and space, and it really is that place of ecstasy, whatever that is, it's bringing you joy, whether it is your spiritual practice or your work or your beloved or your pets or nature. Because you see, isn't that why we're so lucky, and how we're so lucky that we all get to show up exactly as who we are, and we all get to be fed exactly how we need to be fed. And so what I'm offering today, my friends, is work of nuance. You have very successful lives, and I love you and I honor you for co-creating that kind of beautiful existence with the divine. So what we're talking about today is the work of nuance. So rather than trying harder to achieve something, whatever that might look like in your life, what if you tried softer? What if you set the intention? What if you were really clear what you're calling in? Because we know what goes on in vagueness stays in vagueness. So you still get to be clear. You still get to know what you want. I always add this or something greater, not because I'm trying to direct the divine, but because I'm trying to train my own mind to say, whatever it looks like to my physical eyes, I know this is God at work in my life, right? So I invite you into that space of trying softer. I invite you into that space of slow zone. Now, that's not to say when we're in that space of flow, when we're in that zone, we can also be very happy, whether we're horseback riding or swimming or running or diving or jumping out of an airplane or whatever makes your heart beat faster. We know that it can happen when we're pumping adrenaline and all of that energy is flowing through our bodies, and it can also happen when we're quiet, when we're peaceful. We have all heard the adage that when we pray, oftentimes we are beseeching or we are asking for something from God, either for ourselves or for a family member, or for those who are doing work professionally on behalf of clients. And when we meditate, when we go within, when we go into the silence, that is when we are listening. So what do we know? Everything exists on an energetic spectrum, right? So when we speak, we have to be able to listen to hear the answer. Whether we're speaking physiologically for our human selves or metaphorically for our spiritual selves. When I pray and I'm putting my thoughts and ideas out into the field, and if I'm not seeing the results that I think I want or that I need, I've gotten sideways maybe once or twice in my life saying, why isn't God listening? God isn't responding. God always listens to my prayers. What am I doing wrong? And I get all wound up in my humanness. And then when I'm able to get grounded, when I'm able to get centered again, when I'm able to go into meditation, when I quiet my mind, then I'm able to hear the replies, the responses, the answer, whatever your terminology. So I invite you into the slow zone. I invite you into the peace. And on a global scale, I invite you into the cosmic pause that we are all experiencing. And how is that serving you? How is that serving you? Because it is serving you. And I recognize that this pandemic is affecting everyone and everything on the planet. You know, I'm an old-fashioned guy in one regard, in that I still get the daily newspaper. And I was reading a story a couple of weeks ago, actually two stories side by side. The first one talked about, and it was just breaking my heart, it talked about people who are experiencing homelessness and who are experiencing food insecurity. And in the same story, it talked about the farmers who are plowing under their crops and dumping out their milk because they can't get their products to market. So it struck me that we don't have a supply issue. We have a supply chain issue. We have a process issue. And right next to it, I kid you not, is a story about billionaires who are concerned because, you know, with visas and being in a foreign country, oftentimes you're allowed to be there 6 months shy of, 1 day shy of 6 months. And then you have to leave the country, you have to go home, you have to do something different before returning. Well, all of these billionaires had their jets parked in different countries that were not their own, and they could not leave the country, nor could they go back to their own home. Now, I understand, I absolutely get what you're saying, and I'm picking up energetically. These are absolutely first world problems, and what a problem to have. And my bigger point is the pandemic is affecting everyone on the planet. So for those of you who continue to do your own work, thank you. We need you. We bless you. We need your energy. We need to continue to do what we can to raise the energy on the planet. For those of you who are first line responders, who are absolutely necessary to keeping our states and our countries moving, thank you. I have no idea what you are going through on a daily basis. And please know that I am grateful for your work in all facets, in all realms, in all arenas. And for those of you who are working in the spiritual realm, all of the ministers, Reverend Kelly, Reverend Carla, so many beautiful people who have served your community in the past, all of our chaplains, all of our lay prayer partners. My goodness, my friends, that is the most important work we can do. So thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for continuing to do the work. Thank you for continuing to be in and of service. And thank you for being in the zone, because you and God are creating a magnificent human experience for you. And this is a case where 1 + 1 is so much greater than 2. Know that you are loved. Know that you are blessed. Know that this community is absolutely here to support you in any way that you may need. Please reach out to everyone whose names have been mentioned with whatever you need, however you can be supported or be of support. You are blessed. You are amazing. You are extraordinary. Please join me in a moment of meditation. So as I just allow myself to be quiet in this moment, I know that I am absolutely connected to the divine, that this one power, this one presence that I choose to call God is in, around, and through all beings, that it is all of me and I am a part of it. And I just lean into that. I allow that to support me. I know that to be my truth and the truth of everyone within the sound of my voice. Because I know it can be no other way, that we are all a part of that one power, that one presence, that one ubiquitous energy. And I bless it, and I love it, and I know it to be true. And I know when I am in the zone, when I am in the flow, when I am being mindful, that I am absolutely grounded in principle and open at the top. That I know that that there is God and nothing else, and that there are so many paths to the divine that I may choose to go this way or that way or the other. And there is no way that I can become separated from God. And that just gives me great joy. That allows me to be in the flow in my life. So as we move into a moment of silence, then I just invite you to be in that space of, what does ecstasy look like for me? When is the last time I was in the flow? When is the last time I was in the zone? And so what I know, beloveds, is you can come back to this time and this place anytime that you choose, because being in the flow is our natural state, you see. We were born, we were created in the image of God, not knowing any discord, not knowing any separation, not knowing any lack. So we are intended to be in this place. So if you are having a moment where your human self is not remembering that, speaking of the great outdoors, one of the things that I always reflect on is the acronym FROG. We use it in a number of children's churches. And for those who may not be familiar, it is first rely on God. So when you have that moment, when you're not remembering who you are and of what you are made, just think of a frog. First rely on God. Take it to the higher power of your understanding. Take it to God, take it to the divine, take it to the goddess, take it to Mother Earth, take it to Dr. Seuss. Because you see, we accept wisdom wherever it lies. And we love it and we bless it and we honor it, just as we love and bless and honor you.
Thank you for that meditation, Reverend David. And now for the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have also forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. We continue to be so grateful for the continued support of this church, especially during the times that we find ourselves in. We do depend on your donations, and this helps tremendously with our ongoing expenses. As you know, there are several ways to contribute to the church. You can send a check to the office. You can text the word Give Unity of Fort Myers at 44321. Or you can click on the donate button, which is in the right upper hand corner of our website. Please feel free to give in a way that is comfortable for you. And now, Reverend David, if you can please bless the offering.
With great joy. So we bless the gifts and the tithes and the offerings that are given so generously and so tremendously to Unity of Fort Myers, because what we know is when we give, we receive many-fold. We are prosperous, we are abundant, we are in the flow, and we allow that to be in our lives for ourselves and for our beloved spiritual community. It is our joy, it is our great honor to give where we are spiritually fed. So we bless these funds, we bless these gifts that are given in love. We know that they are put to extraordinary use by Unity of Fort Myers for work in the community, for work in the state, for work in the country, and indeed for work around the world and around the planet. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit. All is well. Every being is magnificent, and so it is. Amen.
Amen. So join me now in blessing all the children around the world. So please rub your hands together and say with me, you are loved, special, and important. We behold and bless the Christ you are. We continue to raise our own vibration of peace, and we expand that peace outward. And let us say together, let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, with us. And now, please join me in saying the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. Thank you so much for joining us for this fabulous, fabulous service today. And Reverend David, if you have any closing remarks, now's the time.
Blessings. Thank you so much, Jerry. Thank you, Reverend Kelly. Thank you, everyone who's working behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. The energy of your community is palpable. I feel it. I feel the love. I feel the vibration. Please keep doing what you're doing. We need the energy that you're bringing to the planet. It has been my great joy to be with you, and I know that we will connect again in perfect time. So please go forth in peace, go forth in power. We are complete.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us, that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. Yes, I do. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the